Hey everyone, thank you so much for choosing to watch this clip of myself and Paul Gorst having a chat about Ibrahima Konaté's contract, as well as a little bit of Conor Bradley as well. If you want the rest of this show plus everything that we do over on redmenplus.com, head there now, sign up as a Captain monthly subscriber, use the code JOURNO and you will get a free month of all our amazing content. I will see you there. Speaking of centre-backs, let's do Ibrahima Konaté. Obviously, it was him himself that told the world a little while ago that he'd been offered a new contract and hadn't accepted that yet, hadn't come to agreement on terms, etc., etc., etc. That still remains the case. We've touched on it a couple of times in the past couple of months about where we're at with his deal. Now, Lewis Steele, again, has said that Real Madrid have a very real interest in signing Ibrahima Konaté. Also mentioned PSG in the same breath, but said that move feels less likely. Obviously, Parisian, we seen last night. His performance, some people might have suggested he might have been sent off, not for me, but that's by the by. Clearly enjoyed himself post-match with his ooh-la-las.
Yeah.
It
did make me laugh there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. But Konate, obviously, you know, an integral part of the Liverpool squad, has been for a while, feels more so than ever now. Obviously, no post-Joel Matip era. Joel Quansah last season, really, really good. This season, took a step back maybe. Joe Gomez's injury problems have come to the fore once again, unfortunately. So Konate's really sort of made that spot next to Van Dijk his own, if you like. So his importance to the side is clear for all to see. Therefore, his importance to the football club should be clear for all to see as well. But yeah, when Real Madrid are getting mentioned, when PSG are getting mentioned, that should really set alarm bells ringing, I guess, for the football club and I suppose the fan base a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's been a real joy, hasn't it, watching Konate develop this season. He's gone from being a player who you've always thought has got it in him to sort of step up and become one of the best young centre-backs around. But for whatever reason, it hasn't quite worked out. He's looked like he's been on the cusp of it quite a few times and then maybe picks up a little injury here or there or a little dip in form. But I think he said it himself, you know, he feels him and Van Dijk have been the best partnership in Europe this season, and when you saw what they were doing last night, you can understand why you might think like that. So yeah, he's certainly having his best season at Liverpool, isn't he? And he's probably having it at an opportune time from his personal perspective, with contract talks now underway. He will be able to sort of name his price, I guess. And it was interesting hearing them say in that Lille pre-match press conference that he'd been offered the deal but was sort of unwilling to go any further on it. And it was a remarkably frank press conference, that, what he was saying. He's played with the aid of painkillers, he's played through the pain barrier, you know, him and Van Dijk are the best in Europe. I've been offered the deal, but, you know, not telling you they've signed it yet. It was they
didn't put him up for this one, did they? It's funny.
No, I don't know. I don't think I think he's gone to the back of the queue after that performance, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, you could understand why a club like Real Madrid would be looking at him, given his age, his quality, and this sort of new model that Real Madrid have, where they look to get the world's best players for no transfer fees. You know, they've just signed Kylian Mbappe. We know the situation is with Trent, so wouldn't surprise me at all if they are certainly keeping tabs. And I think for Real Madrid, that's sort of the benefits of being Real Madrid, the fact that you can just wait for these players to run the contracts down, and then as soon as you're able to, just sort of let them know early doors, you know, or early-ish doors that you know, we are here. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully Liverpool can resolve this, because it's you know, the longer it goes on, the more of a concern it becomes. And if we are in the summer months and he's down to his last 12 months, it's just rinse and repeat, isn't it, for what we've already said about Trent, Van Dijk and Salah every week. So yeah, it's one that Liverpool need to get resolved sooner rather than later. But we have said that before about other players, sadly. No, we have, absolutely, yeah, and it feels as though we're getting perilously close to a very similar situation, as you mentioned. And who knows, a lot of Konaté's deal may well hinge on the future of Van Dijk, but possibly a little bit of Trent, maybe a little bit of Salah in terms of money distribution. It shouldn't boil down to that, but, you know, that might be what we're waiting on. But yeah, with Real Madrid, with their name being mentioned in this particular scenario, it never fills me with great confidence, to be honest with you. Obviously, they're also linked to Saliba quite heavily as well, so they might go down that road before they come to the Konaté one. Who knows? But yeah, I think from a Liverpool standpoint, it's just about getting him tied down as quickly as possible. And to give him the credit, I guess, in this instance, albeit maybe not, you know, value enough to Konaté, they've offered a deal. At least we were aware of that information. Yeah, well, we know that they're being proactive. You know, they've offered a deal. I mean, Konaté revealed that in January, so let's say the deals come in before Christmas. Just speculating there, but certainly Liverpool looking to be more proactive than they were with the other three. When you've got a litany of reasons as to why Liverpool have got to the situation they're in with those three, but yeah, certainly not looking to get in a similar situation. But the longer it goes on, the more it becomes more of a prospect. Just going back to Real Madrid, I think did they get Tony Rudiger on a free as well?
Yeah, because that was a messy Chelsea situation, wasn't it, with the ownership? I don't think they could offer him a new deal, I think I'm right in saying, Chelsea at one point.
That rings a bell,
yeah. So, but he did ultimately,
and I think they were waiting for Alphonso Davies, and obviously he's having a new contract. So certainly the model at Real Madrid at the moment to spend less on transfer fees and more on wages, and if they can snare some of the best players in Europe for nothing, they will absolutely do that. So that should be a concern for Liverpool.
Yeah, well, 100% it should be. Another area Liverpool looking to be quite proactive in, as revealed by your colleague, I believe I'm right in saying, last week, Ian Doyle, Conor Bradley, new deal as well on the horizon, which I think, in terms of what he's been able to do, in terms of his impact on the pitch, in terms of being the understudy and stepping up in Trent's absence, I think he's fully deserving of it. Yeah,
100%. I think he only signed the new deal quite recently. He was named in the financials as one of the contract renewals, I think, with Ben Doak and Kostas Tsimikas. So I can't remember when it was actually, but it must have been inside the last 12 months.
Yeah.
So this is very much, a reward for the progress that he's made. Certainly since maybe the turn of last year when he burst onto the scene. We all remember that game against Chelsea, don't we? Sort of around that time of the year when he was really taking steps forward. Still getting, a few muscle injuries, which might just be sort of, a young man developing really at the elite end of sports. But yeah, totally deserving of anything that comes his way, and we hope that gets resolved. And I've seen a few people sort of conflating it alongside Trent's situation, and I think that's a bit unfair because Liverpool is still hopeful of getting a resolution on that situation, and this isn't at all we need to get Bradley tied down because Trent might go. I think they are sort of parallel, running alongside each other, just Liverpool looking at each deal individually. It'd be nice to get them both tied down, wouldn't it? And then you've got your right back situation sorted for 10 years at least. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, certainly I think Conor Bradley deserves a little bit of a pay hike for the progress that he's made, because he's gone from being sort of academy hopeful, had a really good loan spell, and now he's on the cusp of the first team, isn't he? And whenever he plays, there are no eyebrows raised that he's filling in for Trent or anything like that. So yeah, I think he deserves any sort of pay hike that is coming his way.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're right on the new contract as well. It was December 2023, so not that far in the distance really. And Conor Bradley's development has been superb. The loan spell you mentioned at Bolton was outstanding. That really stood him in good stead for what was to come. Thereafter, I think he got League One Player of the Year, or certainly Bolton's Player of the Year. He racked up a whole host of awards during his time there, and let's have it right as well. He's usurped or left Calvin Ramsey, albeit blighted by injury. He's left him, in his wing mirror massively, so a little bit really his rearview mirror, because Calvin Ramsey's he was signed to be the backup in the studies of Trent. Really, it's never really happened. It's very much Conor Bradley's shirt now, so all credit to him for it.